Welcome to the European Junior Pool Championships, all the way live from Podcetrtek, Slovenia, and we have started the straight pool division today. And our next match for today, because we already had a match on this table, is between oÞēcal, multiple European champion from Sweden. We'll be facing Sven Fischer from the Netherlands in a race to 100 points in the under 19 division. Now this will be a rough task for the Dutchman. Walter, as I mentioned, not just a multiple European champion among the juniors, but also has had great results in the men's division. It's been gaining a lot of seasoning over the years, so will be difficult to beat. Fischer to break the balls. For everybody new to straight pool, every ball is 1 point. And when you get the last ball on the table, all the balls will be re-racked. And you can try to continue your run by pocketing that one last ball and opening the rack. You will see eventually. For now, the break off, 2 balls hitting the rail at minimum, and the cue ball. I think this is a pretty good break, unless the 12 ball just goes, but didn't look like it. And the cue ball pretty close to the rail too, so difficult opener from the start, which he manages well. Nice nudge on the 11. So very close to a good break for Fischer. Now Walter runs into the left side of the 7. I think enough balls will be popping out, and he will be on the 10 ball to the bottom right. Ooh, didn't really catch a piece of the 7. Yeah, I don't think he is on the 10, but he was, well, he's definitely inspecting if it does go. The 13 into the middle, very missable. As you can see, cue ball, from this angle you would say it does go. There would be a little bit of a roll. Oh, he's managed to make it, but what did he play for? That's a big question. Now the next 9 days we will have the EPBF Kamui European Pool Youth Championships. We'll have 4 disciplines: 8 ball, 9 ball, 10 ball and straight pool. Not in that order, of course, because we are starting now with the straight pool. And we have the teams division. Teams probably, in my opinion, one of the most fun. Yeah, Walter coming up with a couple big shots from the start. Is now back on track, but still needs to split the rack. So is he going into it now? Yes. Then again, the balls are not opening well for him. Yeah, and that cut was maybe a bit too much. Had to recover over and over. So Fischer at the table. Let's see. Would be nice if he could get some pressure early on Walter. But it means he will have to look at least 20, 30, 40 balls. Especially when Walter is going to get comfortable. That's where he might start to make a big difference. Will be difficult though for Fischer. I mean, doesn't have that much experience. Oh, nice cut. Could have chosen to go into the rack. Yeah, now that's the 15. If the 15 goes to the bottom right, you could still play onto the 15 with a little angle to bust open the 4 balls underneath. He chose to go directly into it. And he's landed in no man's land. Did catch it a bit thin on the side. So we're gonna see, or I'm assuming we're gonna see a safety battle, probably thinning the one. Bring the cue ball to the bottom short rail and wait. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to chase the points. Yeah, did play, well, you could say the easy solution, but might have left a thin cut on this one ball. Something seems to be a bit odd about the scoreline. So, of course, we have more matches going on. All the information is on EPBF.com, or you can find on EPBF.com. All the draws, all the players, country list. And of course, we're going to try and feature most of the players on this beautiful stream. Okay, I like how he's played this. Just did catch the balls a bit firmer. Yeah, we'll have to play the 6 into the top right. It's awkward cueing, so close by the 6, but the cut on the 9 is not much easier, and it does function as a break ball, as the opening shot for the next track. But he doesn't fancy it. And some kind of way I like how he's trying to block a path for the 6 into the middle. But he was always going to give up this long cut into the corner. Not easy to get shape afterwards, but now this is first round match, so both players are not comfortable yet, of course, with these conditions. Walter, straight cueist, but also he has to start to get some feeling for the table, maybe even change a couple of things in the pattern. And as you can see, he's trying to put himself nice little angle on the 5 into the middle. The balls will be coming back on the table. So that means Walter taking the smallest of leads in this race to 100 points. So now he's looking at going directly into the stack. Could indeed to draw with right spin to go into the top long rail, 2 rails into the back of the stack. Not a big fan of this follow. If you skim off the edge, you could scratch, or well, at that pace, how much are you gonna get? Always tricky running on the top side of the stack with that kind of pace. No shot left. We'll have to play safe. I don't believe that a 13 does go. So he's gonna say probably thin the ball and bring the cue ball up table, but he's went all in on the bank, and what a shot he's played there. I mean, at some point, if he gets a bit of breathing space from Fischer, of course, a young man like this, he's putting a lot of hours in, he's going to get very comfortable. He's left himself ideal on this stand. To bust open the stack. Just gotta make sure the cue ball doesn't stick. Oh, he did play with draw. He's drawn the cue ball straight into the corner, so another chance for Fischer. And surprising scratch from Walter. Oh, and he's missing the opening shot. Of course, he's had ball in kitchen and nothing relatively close, but you can imagine the nerves for him. First round match. So now if we look at this layout, I don't think... Well, the 4 is a bit low as a break shot. Because that's one of the things you're trying to look for early on. Otherwise you'll have to develop things during the rack. So maybe it's going to play into the cluster of 4, pushing the 15 out at the same time. Yeah, that'll work. 15, perfect break shot, could end with 14-1, 8 in the middle, and then have the break shot. So Clear up the bottom, go up table, give yourself an angle on the 15. And he's got everything in the open. Oh, I was gonna say, might get more comfortable, but yeah, shocking miss. Clearly has not found any rhythm yet. Yeah, I think the best attitude for Sven in this case, being, well, the underdog in this match, would be, well, it's easy to tell yourself, oh, let's just enjoy, even though you want to win so bad. But just try to make this a match, you know, like if you can get any pressure on Walter, don't give yourself any chance to miss. Instead of taking the 8, indeed look at the 3 ball or maybe the 6. Just don't give yourself a chance to miss. Yeah, now a couple balls further. The wrong angle on the 6. Running towards the 15. Might not even leave himself anything on the 8. And that's where he decided to elevate. I mean, you could look at the scoreboard and say, well, it's still close. But it's just waiting for one player to get comfortable and make a run. Wasn't able to hold to be straight onto the 6 in the middle, so needs to pop out one rail, the bottom short rail, back out and leave himself angle on the 15. Could also choose to go 2 rails around the 15. Well, it's some angle. It's not the biggest of angles, but he's got something to work with. Here we have more stream tables, of course. We have Max Benko and Bournois from France, and from Germany Leitmann against Saiter. Table 3. Of course, everything will be live on Pro Billiard TV. Now this is a bit of a mid-range break ball, should be okay. Then again, he's put quite some energy into the break, and the ball's not opening that much. Is there a 14-12-3 combination into the bottom right? That would open things up. Well, we are going to find out if the combination is there. Otherwise, of course, he could split the rack with the 4. Well, he's got the open position. He has been struggling so far. He's been missing some unusual shots. Kind of prefer to give myself a nice angle on the 2 and run straight up again into the 6-12 to push everything a little bit more open. Yeah, not much has moved there. Quite sure he was trying to get a bit more space around the rack. He does have 2 break balls, so doesn't really have to develop anything. It's taking the 10 away to open the corner for the 7 and the 6. So 9-1 straight on the 14 makes the 6 and the 7 to the bottom left. Kinda like to take away the 1 ball early, just to stay on the bottom side of the table. A little angle on the 6. Pop one rail out, back to the center of the table. It's a bit of an in-between. He's looking to play just topspin. Feel like it's easy to fall straighter on the 8 ball with just topspin. So I kind of like a bit of stun. Ooh, that did wipe his feet. And he's put himself quite straight. But he does run the rack. Plus 14 points. That should put him on 30-11. And also, he puts Fischer in the chair. I know quite some players that, you know, playing 8 ball or 9 ball, any rotation game, doesn't matter if you put them in the chair because they are always comfortable playing that game. But in straight ball, if you sit in the chair for 20 minutes to get warmed up again, it's not everybody's skill set. It's just a different kind of game. You could be sitting in the chair for 20 minutes, play a safety game for 10 minutes. Then you have to play that one long shot, which is super tough. Hope the rack gives you something. And then no more mistakes, otherwise your opponent is already back. So I feel like in rotation, alternate break, you always have a couple chances to play yourself back into stroke real fast. Well, he's done a lot with the cue ball there. I didn't expect any of that, to be honest. So, no big run. And a chance for Fischer. If he can play topspin off this 11, cue ball floats towards the center of the table. You're always on the 4. And you might land nicely on the 5 ball. He's chosen to play draw. He's on the 14, so that works. Just needs to find a way to split the pack as soon as possible. Barely has any options. Awkward queuing. I do like to play with stun left, 2 rails out. He chose to go into the rack again. Managed nicely, he's on the 12. He does have the 7 if he would want to screw into the balls again, big screw. Yeah, also don't forget, we do have the shot clock on. 35 seconds per shot, and especially among the juniors, a lot of them, they've never experienced playing under a shot clock, or barely. So as you can see, maybe he's a bit rushed. He's put himself on the rail on this 7. Could have done with just a stun, get the cue ball off the rail. Doubting, do I play this 5 into the middle or into the corner? He's chosen the corner. Still has somewhat of a cluster. And it's not really a cluster, it's more that most of the balls are blocking each other. So you might see him Get to the 13 indeed. I don't think the 15 does go. And he's taking away the points now. And did wait quite a bit to do something with that little bit of a cluster. But so far he's been landing on balls. So things coming along so far. But now it's time to start working on a break ball. And is he still on the 13? Well, he's going very aggressive. He's going for the bank. Doesn't have to. I mean, he's staying close in the scoreline. If you imagine, he made 10 points, around 10 points. Score now 31-20-ish. One good save. You do the same thing. You're 30 each. I fear he's left a shot on the 15. He's definitely left a shot on the 13. Oh, Walter now pushing the 13. A bit low to be a break shot. So could choose to maybe give the 3 ball a nudge over the middle, or at least it didn't look like the 13 was so great. I don't think he's gonna take the 13. But he also could have given himself a bit easier of a shot on the 13 at the same time. Ooh, this is straight. Yeah, you have to ask yourself, how aggressive do I want to play? Are you going for something wild and aggressive on the 3 ball, or make the ball, play safe, get the win? Yeah, he's played safe. No chance to open up the rack. So Walter calling the safety beforehand, before the shot, bucketing the ball, and that means Sven will have to play from the position where the cue ball lands. Now you can kick 1 rail into the bottom of the stack. Find the 2 rails more difficult. Well, he's made a great contact on the rack. Okay, he didn't really hit any rail after contacting the ball, so -1. But decent position to start to play a safety battle from. Unless he's gonna take this 4 ball on. Oh, the cue ball on the edge. Although it's on the edge, I actually think this is a pretty rough position for Walter to be in. Awkward cueing. Is not able to go for 13-3 or the 6. I mean, you can turn down shots as long as you want. If you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to go aggressive, but at some point you will have to shoot. You could go for the 13. Yeah, turned it down just because the cue ball being so close to the rail. Can imagine Walter just sending the 14 up table, bringing the cue ball below the stack. No, he's going aggressive. 14 in the top left. Awkward cueing so close by. Well, that kind of was a, if I make it, I'll have 14 more points. But if I miss it, I'm probably going to give my opponent these points because, as you can see, he's nudged the stack open, or it has opened up a lot more. But how is he going to connect the dots? That's the biggest question, of course. That's straight pull all about. Find the pattern. At the beginning there's so many open balls. It's nice to make a pattern, but mainly I focus on creating more space. So there's always balls blocking other balls to a pocket. So for example, in this case the 12 is blocking the 7, or the 2 is blocking the 7. Now the 7 does look like a break shot, so doesn't have to open it up. Did land a bit short. Oh, and he's missed that into the middle. What a miss from Fischer. Not supposed to miss those. So returning the favor to Walter. I mean, things are still interesting. I feel like Walter is far from being comfortable. You could say the same for Fischer. On the other hand, with him being the underdog, he could grind it out. stay close, try to get more pressure on Walter. But especially at that age, unfortunately I've experienced it myself. You just really want to play your best and you're not really looking at, I want to grind it out, I want to just make it, you know, you want to get that nice feeling. It's the first day of the 2026 Kamui EPBF European Pool Youth Championships. And the player that finds form early could look at some silverware during the week. Yeah, like I said, the 12 looks to be blocking either the 7 or the 5. Oh, that's why I think he was trying to run into it. It's this kind of details where he's struggling so far. I mean, obviously, he cues the ball nice. So I'm not expecting big misses because of the stroke or technical error. Mainly just, well, connect the dots. Sounds easy, but it definitely isn't. And he's now taking the 7 long to the top right. And the new cloth helped him there. Might have to play the 5. Leave himself in the center of the table. Take the cut on the 12. Oh, he's even thinking about still taking this cut on the 12. Well, it will be about where he leaves the cue ball for the break. So, of course, as you can see on table 2, Max Benko, also multiple European champion in the junior division. He's had some good results too on the Euro Tour, on the European Men Championship. So overall, definitely a contender for this week. Now 20-point difference. And this time the rack is splitting open very nicely. Nice spread. Oh, did catch a piece of the 9 ball there, which he wasn't trying. Still has the 2. Like I said, at the beginning of these racks, especially when they're open, you can still take a couple before you actually have a plan. So it's not too worrying on the shot clock either. But at some point you'll have to make a plan. Interesting how he's gonna take the 14, which could be a break shot later on. Now if he draws into the 6-7, he might push the 7 over to the right long rail. Yeah, the other option is if the 11 ball goes by the 15, to use that to get a nice angle on the 15 for the break. Yeah, so as you can see, he's kind of opened up the rack to where, well, you should say very comfortable. He's got plenty of space. He's also in a position where he can still pick his battle. Do I like the 7 or do I like the 6? This kind of questions, you know, that's what you need. You're not always going to land ideal. Might have landed a bit funny here. Could take the 3 ball. Unless this looked to be a bit more awkward than it actually is. So probably 6-3, 8-4, and use the 13 to create the angle on the 15. It's going to put Walter on 58, passing the half of the match midway, race to 100 points. Might have put himself a bit straight on this 4. Can he still... Well, he still has a little angle, as you can see. But he's come up a little short on the A2, so he's going to get a bit more distance on the 15. As long as he gives himself an angle, should be okay for now. Once again, another great setup. Here we have a look at table 2. Makes Benko up. I mean, it's a small margin though. It's not much. 18 points up. And the rack doesn't look too favorable in the race to 75. They're playing in the under 17 division. Can imagine the pressure also for the Frenchman. He knows, of course, what Benko has achieved already. Yeah, another great production from the Predator group together with the EPBF, of course. And thankfully for our sponsor Kamui. I think the youth is one of the most important groups out there we need to support, and I think it's beautiful to see that these companies or these groups have partnered up to make these stellar events happen. Now the rack hasn't opened up too ideally. They might go back into it right now. And missing the 7. Yeah, it's these kind of details. He's missing out on these kind of positions. And of course he had awkward cueing. It's also difficult when you've seen Walter play like a strong set, a strong match before. You know what he's capable of, so you don't really expect him to miss that kind of shot, for example. So maybe a bit of expectation also for himself. He knows also how well he plays. Yeah, for now, just nicking them away. We'll have to figure out the plan soon. The 3 ball, I believe, does go by the 4 and the 13. Don't think there's a combination. The 14 might... Yeah, the 14 does go. Oh, where did he go with the cue ball? He's lost the cue ball completely. And look at what he's given Walter too. Cue ball in the kitchen, but the 6 will work. He might use the 6 to blast open the rack. That could be a very costly one, because from this point things can go real fast. Like I said, Walter now just in the previous inning with a bit more game. He needs 41, so that's almost 3 racks. In this case, from this position, he needs a little bit more than 3 racks, because we're starting off with 11 balls on the table. But this split has worked out perfectly. Bit of a mess on the left side, but he's got that same space again. And could use the 8 to maybe develop something. That's what he's done. Yeah, follow the 2, take the 9 or the 14, open that up a little bit. We'll have a break ball on the 1, I believe. Yeah, the 1 ball just outside the rack could also take the 13. We'll have 4 matches streamed today. 12:30 being our next one. Then 4:30 and 7:30. Local Slovenian time. They're now playing in Podcetrtek. Can imagine it being very hot there. Last time I had the pleasure to be there, it was like 35 degrees Celsius, which is steaming, of course. Right now, it's still early on the day, but 29 degrees, going up to 31. And also occasionally, they do have some interesting lightning and big rain, of course, so will be interesting what that does to the table too. He's kind of running out of position all over so far. Well, he is making something happen. He's got an angle on the 10. This wasn't pretty. He actually moved the balls open nicely to the left. To then starting to travel the cue ball quite a lot. I have a feeling though that Walter is also telling himself, okay, you know, it's an early morning match. It's my first match. Still looking for some form, for some feeling. So, you know, get the win. Be better every match I play. Just a little bit. Learn. Yeah, and another scratch. If Fischer wants to have another chance to win this match, I feel like we'll have to step it up from this point. Now, even if he could run, let's say he runs this out, or maybe one more, he would be at least at 50 points. Walter would feel that he's actually right behind him. Yeah, I do get the feeling when I see this young man play that he's being a bit pushed by the shot clock. Oh, why would you? I think this is a more difficult shot than taking the two first. Nice shot, but found it a bit risky. Why would you not take the two ball first and put yourself closer to it? Oh, top spin. Maybe skim off the 5 balls in the middle. No. As you can see, the 5 ball in this case is being very annoying, blocking the 12 and the 4 to the bottom right. But also the 7 and the 15, they're blocked to the bottom left. So to either like have a chance to open it up, you'll have to take away the 5 ball first, or find an angle somewhere to run into it. Well, making something happen. Still needs to find a way to get the cue ball out of that little position. Okay, now still the 15 blocking the 12 and the 4. Oh, and he's put in so much hard work to then miss the 2 ball by quite a bit there. See, towards the end of the rack, things just, they were still so locked up, where I feel like he was pushing the cue ball to still make something happen. And this is a bit of pattern too, like if he had taken the 15 away or opened the 11 and the 3, he would have had more space towards the end. Well, he gets another chance at the table. That's another thing. Sometimes you miss a ball and you feel like, well, I might have to sit again for 10-15 minutes. And then now suddenly your opponent misses so early on. You might not be ready mentally to get back to the table and continue where you left. Well, did land on the 4. Wasn't trying to get that nudge, and Starting to be a bit limited. Might have to play 15-12 combination. And then try to get to the right side of the 11 for the break. He went up to the 11. Well, he still has a cut. It's going to be wild. Is he going to let the cue ball run or? Well, I'd rather cut this to the bottom right and the bottom left. Bottom left being the open pocket from that angle. But to the bottom right, if you catch the long rail first, just slightly, you might still have a chance it drops. No, I think he was trying to play safety. It's either a safe or he was really trying to hold the cue ball, but that's probably why he's missed the 11 so full. So combination. And he's got a nice angle now to draw one rail. And on this, the pace is great. Well, maybe a little straighter, but yeah, different so far in this match is just Walter, 1 or 2 runs. Little runs though, nothing too crazy. But Fisher just not able to get things together towards the end of the rack. I feel like at the end of the rack they're just not opening up enough and running into trouble. Not sure. Looked like Sven was trying to take a timeout. Yeah, and again, look at the cue ball. It's another scratch. Can you believe he scratched 3 times now? Trying to do something with the stack. Oh. Oh, just on the 12. Doesn't have too many options. Of course, the 5 does go to the top right in this view. The 2 ball available still, but what can you use to open up the rack a bit more? Oh, at least... Okay, he's missed the ball, but he's left distance. This rack is scrappy. Yeah, don't forget the distance is not so much. It's only 69 to 40 points. And if Sven can get a couple more of those opportunities, we might be going 40 to 60. Like, it's all about creating a bit more pressure on Walter. Oh, from this angle. Well, he's found a window between the 5 and the 13. It looked like the 2 was a bit scary there, but he's still managing. He's also picking up the pace a little bit, starting to play faster. So that means he is starting to catch some rhythm. And well, you gotta be honest, the beginning part of the match, he barely had any of that. Of course, a lot of nerves. Playing one of the favorites to win the title. Yeah, would have liked to be a bit better on the 1. That's why he's taking the 15. Still though, why did he not go back and forth? See, it's mainly towards the end of the rack where he's not getting things opened up. Starting to lose position a bit. Now it's either this 12 and he won't have any position making this. That's why he's played safe. You know, he's trying to keep the heat on Walter, and I mean, by any means, this is not easy at all. Long shot. And at some point you start to think too, like, if I miss this ball, the guy has another 8 points. You know, like, start to wear down. But he's going for this 12 ball into the bottom left. And this is what I mean. You can see he's a bit tired with himself, with his performance so far. Fischer already back at the table. He's feeling like, well, I'm getting one chance after another. Eight balls at the table. Could put Fischer at 53. And then the distance is only one rack between the two of them. Nice combination made a little bit happen there. Still no break shot available. This cut on the 11 too much. Has to play the 14 into the middle. At least I kind of prefer the middle more, but he's missed it. Of course, easy to say afterwards. I should have played it into the corner, or this kind of thoughts. I mean, playing the shot clock, you kind of feel like you have to play your instinct too. Not always easy on this 50-50 position. Yeah, just ran a bit out of position there early on, Sven. Walter now trying to figure out maybe he can push the 11 to the bottom of the rack. What is he thinking about? Is he leaving a big cut on the 7 to go into the stack? Is he... Yeah, these are not the usual break shots, at least. At least he does have a shot and he does have an angle. Now we are in the single elimination stage. The double elimination stage, excuse me. Which means the loser of this match won't be out, so no worries either way. We'll be playing double elimination to the last 16. For this straight pool competition, we have 48 of Europe's finest athletes. To where on the other disciplines it goes up to 60. So some countries also choosing to not send the player for the straight pool. I think it's a loss. I think it's a great game. I think you can learn a lot. But some countries, they don't even include it in their national championship, this game. And, well, if the players do not get to play it, it will be difficult also to get the international results if you've never played it, of course. So to get back to this rack, it's all about this split. Has it opened up nicely? It's a bit in between. Might have to cut the 15 and go up to the 10, I think, on the left long rail. The 2 ball. 15, cut the 15 into the 2 ball on the left long rail. Maybe with some angle could go into the rack again. Could also, as you can see, the 10 and the 12 to go to to the same corner as he played the 15, so if that would have rolled a bit further, could have done something with those, but now he'll be playing the 9 for sure. But also for Walter, he's trying to land early on the balls where he can develop something. But if you every time come short or a bit too long, when the feeling is not right, it's not easy to get that ideal angle to keep the run going or the proper shot to open the stack. And this time he gets it. Even gets a break shot on the 3 ball. Does have the 12 to open up the 11 and the 4, so a little nudge here. Ooh. Ooh, did he put himself on top of the 11? I think he might have. Yes, he has. It's a sloppy mistake right there from Walter. And if you look at the other options he has, it's either queuing over the 11 to cut the 3 ball in the top right, or the 10 ball, but both are awkward. I'm surprised he spent so much time looking at the 4, because even from this angle you can see there's really not much of a messe to be played. So now, if the Dutchman wants another chance, would have to say he will have to at least capitalize. A couple more balls. Would love to see him get the job done on this, but he might have to play safe already. It's a big cut. Could play for the cut, but cue ball will be having more pace left on it. So good recovery if he leaves himself. Nice angle on the 11. Near the, well, let's say on the left side. 1.5 diamonds on the long rail. Okay, maybe he's a bit straighter, but I think he's still okay to draw towards the center of the table. Just gotta be careful not to put himself too straight. Oh, still around it. Little angle, he's still at the table. And he's managing. Now also Sven Fischer passing midway. Yeah, in the meantime, I cannot find table 2 anymore on the live scoring, so that means Max Banco probably has won his match already. I have to confirm that. Now, this break shot has kind of worked out. He's on the 14. But mainly the cue was stuck as he put himself so straight on the break ball. I can indeed confirm that Max Banco has beaten Luca Bourneau 75-25 on table 2. Jakob Seider is currently 58-41 up against Linus Leitmann from Germany on table 3. So if this match finishes earlier than that table, you still have another match to watch on Pro Billiard TV. I won't be there to do the commentary, but still, we've got plenty more to watch. And that might be the final shot Sven has played. It's always a long way to go still, because you have to realize Walter will still have to open up the rack. And he needs 17 points. So this rack plus a couple more balls. Yeah, as you can see, like, he's really going into the rack over and over, but just doesn't seem to split so nicely. Could be also sometimes with more humid conditions, the balls get a little bit more sticky. The energy doesn't transfer as much. There's a couple of things. And then before you know, you'll have to play a different pattern, different shot choice to open up the rack, and it's a completely different straight pull than most of the players have practiced at home. Yeah, looking to play the combination, as you could see, lining up for the 12-10. So that means afterwards we'd have 12-11, 15 go around the 6. He only needs a couple in the next rack, so things looking not too great for Sven Fischer, but on the other side you could say rough draw has an opening match on the European Championships. He might not agree. He might say, well, I'm supposed to still win anyways. This is something I cannot answer for him. But I think there's definitely a lot he could learn from, well, the things that have happened this match. I wouldn't necessarily say mistakes, but he's had quite a lot of visits to the table, and Walter hasn't played a perfect set either. And when that happens, there's always something to learn or to take away to your next match. But he's now got himself the ideal break shot. Will we see Sven Fischer back at the table? As you can see, our next match will be at 12:30 local time in Slovenia. Podcetrtek will be coming back live with 3 live tables. Then we'll have a break. And we'll continue action at 4:30 p.m. Oh, a cue ball so close to the corner again. But just look at how he's landed on the 6. Oh, it's actually... Oh, I thought he made that. Oh, well, in that case, I was so sure he was going to make it. Unbelievable. 95, 54. It's a long run, but you got to believe, you got to tell yourself, listen, it's 46 points, let's go. You have a chance. It's got a nice angle on the 14 to give the stack a nudge. You're always on the 11. Not sure how I actually missed that break ball not going in, but probably the heat here in the Netherlands getting up to my brains. Like I said, Walter obviously the favorite in this match, but also the favorite to make that ball. Beauty of pool. You are as good as your last shot played. It's already it was already running a bit longer. Had to play to the top left. Nicely done. Back on track. Not sure. Yeah, Walter looked a little bit, oh, not frustrated there, but of course there is a referee, and with the shot clock, not sure exactly what happened there, but all you can say is I think Sven did make a good effort in this match. Okay, he was not able to get all the heat on Walter. I would definitely take some positives on to the next match. So, one more ball, I believe. And there's the handshake. So, Walter Leikere advancing through to the winner's side of the bracket. Sven Fischer does have another chance, but won't be allowing himself any more losses in this European Youth Straight Pool Championship. And as I mentioned, our next match will be in approximately 30 minutes, so I would love to welcome you back at Pro Billiard TV. My name is Tim de Ruiter, and I will see you soon.
not a referee. We have an area referee. If you need a referee, we'll provide.
And welcome back everybody to Pro Billiard TV. This is the Kamui EPBF European Pool Youth Championships, and we have started today with the straight pool division. And in this match, in the under 17, we have a winners qualification match between Viljo Auresto and Azvolas Tadaravicius from Lithuania against Finland. Haven't seen too much from Auresto, to be honest. I've seen his name around, never really got the pleasure to do commentary on him, so looking forward to see what he can bring. It will be a race to 75 straight pool. Every ball is 1 point. We will go along the game together. And it is the man from Lithuania to break the balls first. Needs 2 balls hitting the rail and the cue ball. Yeah, this is a match to qualify into the last 32 single elimination stage. It's quite a big single elimination stage in the European Championships most of the time. So, I mean, if you're really digging to go for the medals, you kind of need... Well, it's not all about the draw, but sometimes you can get yourself a draw when you can play yourself into stroke. As you can see, they're playing with a shot clock, 35 seconds. Wow, and he's quite fortunate there to get this combination after the break. So first real chance for the Finn. The Finns who over the years have always been successful in European Championships, not just in the men's category, but also in the juniors. They've had quite some success. There's a lot of pool to be played in general in Finland and a lot of good players, so always someone to pass the knowledge on. Confident stroke there. Not sure, did he run too far? I honestly don't think so, but both players have already played a match today, so I'm expecting this to be a pretty good match. We just had 2 players on the TV table who had their opening match and they really seem to be struggling. You know, it's still the European Championships, and when players are thinking of this championship, you're thinking about award ceremonies, medals, national anthems. You know, it's like, I'm not gonna say it's a life-changing moment, but for some players, you know, it means the world. So the opening match can always be a bit of a scare in that case. But of course that feeling wears off over time. It's a bit of a tricky one. Yeah, we'll have to go into the stack once again. A bit more cut on the 6. Gotta be careful. Doesn't want to run off the 7 and the 3 into the corner. No, he's taking the ball up table. He doesn't fancy the cut. Well, he definitely likes to hit the ball with some pace. Looks like he's quite frozen onto the 3. I don't think he's on the 12. This 10. I don't think it does go into the middle. If it goes in the middle, of course he's going to try and play it. I'd rather play in the middle than into the top corner. Well, so far so good, this young man. You can see he's got some pace around the table. Yeah, so 12, 11. Then after 14 to the break ball. Now we do not have too much straight ball in general on Probability TV, so for everybody not familiar, as I said, every ball is 1 point. Oh, what has he done there? That was definitely the ball he was going to try and use to open up the next rack, to open the next cluster. So a bit of early trouble. We'll have to play the 11 now as a break ball. Anyways, the points will be added after the rack, or after the inning at least. And also on this 7, a bit short. So as you can see, all around the angles, but we'll have to load this up with quite some left to avoid the scratch into the bottom left corner in this view. So the early mistake, I guess he does get 13 points, -1, so he should have 12. It's at least, well, I'm not sure why they're respotting the ball, because the only respots when he actually made the ball and scratched, and he missed the 7 ball. Yeah, a bit more cut on this 5. And, well, I was expecting maybe some low left, like he maybe could have drawn into the long rail to still have something on the 11, but he felt like he wasn't able to hold it, so we'll have a safety battle. So as you could see, Of course, with the break ball, 14 balls get racked back on the table. That's how you can actually make a run. Quite sure we're gonna see somewhat of a run between the two of this winner's qualification. I think both players capable enough to make a decent run. But first, the safety battle. This is also, if you win the safety battle, most of the time you get a decent opportunity nearby the balls. But where do you go to with the cue ball? You don't want to leave the 11. So draw back where it is now, maybe? That's what he tried to do, I think. Yeah, it's okay. It's scary to leave something on the 13, but he hasn't. Could push the 13 one rail back to the center of the table, cue ball into the stack. He's looking at going more distance. Yeah, multiple options he could play. Could take the intentional fall if he really feels like everything he touches might leave a shot on. He went very aggressive, needs the cue ball to be frozen to the rail, and well, good cue ball, but there is a shot on the 4. Yeah, also a nice opening pot from Tanara Vicious. I've seen this table, the balls have not opened up too great in general. So it can be challenging. Is he choosing to go into it right now, or is he drawing back for a ball into the middle? That's what he's looking for. But soon we'll have to do something. There's no combination. Maybe if the 13 goes to the bottom left. I'll have to say this is quite aggressive too, to take on this 14. Because what else are you going to play safe on? But what are you going to get shape on? Is the next question. You're most likely going to miss the ball because you're trying to develop. I can definitely see the rhythm in Aresto's game. Just gotta make sure to not rely on it, you know, still take the proper shot. It's not like he's got a major advantage going up 12-0. Well, he's still got the cluster with 3 balls, then maybe he can use the 7 to develop something. As I mentioned before, we do have 3 matches live on Pro Billiard TV. So of course, if we do not have the one match you're waiting for, then you might want to check out the other streams. I won't be there though. But we have Jakub Shrobot and Georgi Zeliaskov on table 2. And on table 3, Sky van den Berg, son of Nick Vandenberg, is up against Robin Hage Patterson. It's also an interesting match. So we do have some good matches, honestly. Gabriel Aspholm, Sander Tam, 96-96. It's a cracker. So many champions here this week. We have 9 days of play. 9 days, honestly. Oh, look at this. Took the risk. Well, things might have developed just enough. And also the opening chance, or the early chance in the match, most of the time being a bit of a scrappy one. It's whenever you actually get that break ball and you can get a nice split, that's where you can start to get way more comfortable. For now, this has been a huge grind. He's gonna come up with another big shot. He's even cutting this into the left middle. Everything to get shape on the 5 or the 13 into the bottom right, and maybe a bit too aggressive there, because look at what he's given away. So now 13, it looks to be pretty tight, but if it does go, cue ball to the center of the table is okay. Well, it did go, but he nudged the 5 over into the rack. So that means the 5 ball does go to the other side of the table. Could get very awkward with where the cue ball actually has landed. As you can see, the break ball getting very close to the cue ball, and if the cue ball would actually be laying on the spot, so on the place where the 5 ball has to be spotted, in that case the 5 ball would have been wrecked with the other 14 balls. So either way, not a great outcome for Aresto, who did get somewhat of an opportunity from Tadara Vicious on the 8 with the 2 ball next to it. The 5 and the 13. Yeah, and this could be a very interesting safety battle, because both of them are gonna try and take every coverage on the 5. They're not gonna try and give any angle to where their opponent could cut the 5 in and bust open the stack. But they're also not going to develop this rack on the bottom side. They want to keep it as tight as possible in case they make a shot on the 5. They might not land on something, so well, he might be going aggressive, but the odds for him to really get something not too high. This is risky and missable. And does not get something, so 1 point on the board and another safety coming up. Yeah, would love to nick the 14 real thin in the cue ball up table. Yeah, I have to say, this is always a bit of a tricky encounter. There's always the move to bank the 6 ball back into the stack, 1 rail, and the cue ball to the bottom short rail, in case you can really not find any thin contact. Well, I really don't know what he's played with the 6 ball. Well, honestly, the 6 ball actually moved perfectly into the rack, but he has given a cut on the 12. You gotta take this on. Could split the rack and take over the lead. Yeah, honestly, could have gotten a lot easier this. Cue ball on the rail, dead straight on the 3 ball. I don't think he's got any other options. That's why he's looking for a real first. I just don't feel like you're going to get close to your next shot anyways. So what now? A straight 1 ball? Does he still have a cut? I mean, if he stops this, he could be okay having the 1 into the middle, and from there, oh well, comfortable draw too. So back on track. Looking to take over this match. Yeah, it does have the 15 as a break ball. 11 could work to get himself the desired angle. So 13-2. Could go 1 rail to the center of the table, 14-6-11, but either way he'll have to cross over, trying to get straight on the 11. That's where the difficulty is laying. And does he now? Looks like might be still able to draw over, but could be tracking towards the center pocket, and that means he might have to draw into the long rail and out, and it's not the easiest solution necessarily. Recovery needed. Yeah, you would definitely say this counts as recovery. So a nice angle on the break. On this 15 ball as a break shot. It's now moving up. Almost twice the points Aresto has. As you can see, Jakub Schrobot 23 to 5 up. Interesting how he's gonna take his break ball away to leave the 9 into the middle. Yeah, beautiful Predator Arcos, 2 balls in play. Ready to be opened. And perfect break shot there from Tadaravicius. Nice control. Just will have to find another ball soon, indeed, to open up the rest of the balls. And then to miss that 10 ball, wow. I mean, loss of words. How did he execute a perfect break ball to miss that 10? On the other side, for the neutral viewer, of course, great to see Tadaravicius make a mistake. Great chance for Aresto to tie the score with a decent opportunity. I kind of like going for the 14 now. Play like a stun draw. Just push everything a little bit wider. Create more space for yourself. Especially with how the youngsters nowadays, they shoot so straight, they execute so nicely. They are very dangerous when everything is in the open, so the longer the balls stay clustered up, the more difficult it will be for them. Yeah, wondering what this is going to do to him mentally. So, again, Lithuania back at the table. Who also loses the cue ball a bit. Threading the needle, kind of hitting everything thin. So we'll have to play either the 6 in the top corner or very aggressive. The 1 off the 12 into the bottom left, or maybe if he has a 5 into the middle, that could be an option. Things not getting any easier. This is what I mean, like they are straight shooters. Mainly the run will depend on how much space they give themselves. So now probably 2 rails forward. Oh, he went backwards. He might get straight on the 6. Yeah, he's not happy. The path the cue ball had to track there, 2 rails around the 6, was only gonna come out to put him straighter than he would have liked. In the meantime, I mean, I don't think he's gonna complain. He's 37 to 19 up. Almost halfway. And that's exactly why he has not tried to open it up. So back to safeties, and I mean, a couple of years ago I seen a match where a player, he didn't miss a ball, he ran 14 balls, took on the safety battle, save, back and forth, won the safety battle, ran 14, save, or 15 even, and this way he won the match perfectly. Like, I don't think his opponent had any points. So depends, it's also a way to win the match. Of course, most of the players are gonna like to make a break, feel good, get loose. It's the first day, so the player that gets some momentum going early on in the tournament might be great all week. Yeah, leaving a tempting shot on the 8, but honestly, I'd rather push the 8 to the left long rail, 1 rail, and the cue ball near the top right corner, and tell my opponent, hey, good luck out there. But these gentlemen, they're young. They want to swing at the ball. Could get shape on the 1 or the 3 ball to the bottom left or bottom right, so there is value in it. And if you're striking the ball, if you feel like you're cueing the ball so nice, why would you not have a crack at it? What a shot he's played on the 8. Needs another one on this 1 ball though. Cue ball close to the rail. And doesn't want to skim off the rack and follow into the top corner, so maybe a stun follow. Ooh. Yeah, I think it's just okay. Yeah, fixing the shoelace within the shot clock time. Also not everybody's skill. And now continuing. If he closes this rack out, he's already on 52 and the race is 75. And Aresto's hope will get smaller and smaller. So I think I would like to catch the top side of the 2 on this, maybe top left spin. Oh, again, played it so soft. Hit the 2 and with top spin you can push the cue ball over more to the right long rail. Get yourself more space. These shots into the center, they're tough. He might be playing safe, yeah. And this way it looks to be pretty trapped wherever he plays to. I feel like the 15 or the 7 is going to be available. Yeah, and again, beautiful pot. Of course, the safety not ideal from Aresto, but Tadara Vicious is keeping him tight. Just not taking any risks. Now, does he have... I think the 4 is just outside the rack. The 13 could also work. He's even keeping the 11 ball, I think. Like to play the 13, 2 rails up to the 7-15 area. I don't like to go back and forth too much. The more you travel the cue ball, the more risky things get. So he needs to now travel back a bit past the side pocket to have a cut on the 13. Yeah, the pace is right. 2 rails to the center of the table. Yeah, major advantage for Azuola's Tadara. And you gotta be honest, I mean, Auresto had a couple opportunities so far, but it's not like so many. Okay, maybe on a couple shots he's been too aggressive. Okay, you could say that. Well, now then, this is the opportunity he has been waiting for. Everything is in the open. I'm not saying it's a hanger from this position. I'm more saying you've got some space. There is a 6-5 combination, for example. I think there is a 9-13 combination. Or you could, of course, play the 9 to the bottom left. So there is no real clusters on the table. 2-ball needs a bit of work. Now could float the 14 in. Give the 13 just a little nudge.
The players Boris Kaskowski and Miro Bage, please proceed to table 8.
Yeah, he's played it quite firm and has now tied up the 15. It's already lost the cue ball. Does the 7 go by the 11? That's what he's looking for, but it looks to be a bit tight. Oh, he did hit that nicely again. I mean, like I said, I love how straight they're both cueing the ball. Gave everything a little nudge, and look at this, the 2 and the 6, the 1 and the 5, 13, 15. Things gotten worse. Might have to take on the 9 and go into them again. Could take a combination. Now is he going to take the risk? Could run into the 6, just gotta make sure you don't hit it too soft and you freeze up on the 6. Well, as I said, he does execute nice. He's just losing the cue ball. He does have a break shot on the 4, so if he can get this done, I'm sure he will get more comfortable into the match. So, back to the center. 11-6. Ooh. Oh, 11-6. 1-6. Does he get on the 1? That's the question. He looked like a bit disappointed to be so short. From this angle, I should say it's okay. Well, bit of a wobble still. Back to the center of the table. No. Oh, he's left himself long and a bit straight. I really would have liked to go one reel back out to the middle. Means now either top right spin or try to draw straight over to the right side, but well, he's hit it absolutely perfect. So pulling back some points. As you can see, deficit now 18 points. Not much in a race of 75. Will be a close match, I feel like. This Arresto, we haven't really seen him much this match. Checking to see the angle. Looks like he might have to play like a stun follow. Now what does he get? For sure he's got the 15 and also the 7, so can continue. Things have opened up nicely. He threw quite a bit in there. Now does have the 5 not being able to go by the 12. Was trying to kill the cue ball a bit more to be on the 11. This is awkward. Well, the 7 ball was kind of a nice ball to get onto the 14, and if the 12 was gone, the 5. So we'll have to solve to get to the left side and solve these 3 balls later on. The 8 ball is a nice break ball. Looks like he's playing low right. We'll have to get... Oh, this is a bit bassy. Or not. Maybe... Well, you could say maybe a bit short if he had played for the 10. A 9-3 combination. Well, I have to say he's making things happen from positions where I kind of feel like things could have been over. Imagine if he runs this out, he's on 47. And that means that Aravith is going to feel a bit more heat. Has now also moved the 5 off the rail. Does also work as a break shot. He's opting to take this long 14. I probably would look at cutting the 12. Just don't give yourself a chance to miss. You can take the 11 ball too. Kinda liked the 14 to give yourself a little angle on the 5 as a breaker, but he's got more options. Oh, now stand the 9 in. Just give yourself a proper angle. If sometimes when you have these 2 break shots available on both sides, the worst thing you can do is put straight on both of the balls. From there it's always so awkward to still get on the other one with the proper angle. I like more natural angles in general. Less work on the stroke. But it is the young man from Finland who's now pulling it back to 47-51. Arresto is climbing all the way back into this match. This is to qualify for the single elimination stage. To qualify through the through the winner side bracket or the one loss side. Makes a big difference. If you go through the one loss, you actually draw a winner. So difficult position to be in with this scoreline. A lot of pressure will be involved soon. This now suddenly the most important shot of the match for this young man, Filio Arresto. Oh, what does he leave? He's left a shot on the 9. You could see the disappointment. It wasn't a very easy break ball, but with how comfortable they are cueing the ball, every shot is a possibility. But now the initiative back to Therme, who lands on the 3. Does he have the 14 by the 15, for example? The 14 or the 6? How many options does he have to the bottom right corner? Or will he have to stop the cue ball and take the 12 to go into them? Oh, and that little bump. I believe it was the 13 running into the rail and nudging the cue ball back out. This could have been a horrible leave. And now he still can continue. That worked out. So what is your plan with the stack? Are you gonna use the 4, so 6-8-4? Could also play 4-6, leave yourself angle on the 8 and run into it. Yeah, and as I mentioned, of course there was a lot of pressure on the break shot for Arresto. But still, Tadaravicius was going to feel some of the pressure too. Which, until so far in this match, we haven't seen, but he's missed it too. Look at this. Some kind of tension. He was cueing the ball so nicely throughout the match. Yeah, means also that if Arresto can clear up here, we might have... Well, it's not gonna be exactly even, but we might be back all the way even. Yeah, imagine too, they're young, might not have so much experience with the shot clock. And now towards the end of this match, that shot clock is gonna weigh on them even more. And he's missed that. I mean, I don't like to say it, but that was a big miss. He might be still okay with what he's left on. But for a straight shot right there, I think he was lost quite a bit. I mean, we might still see him back at the table. Might never be over till it's over, but... Well, 6-5 combination has been called. It's crunch time. Oh, and he's missed it. I was gonna say maybe could he draw off the 7 to make the combination, or... Because look at where he would have left the cue ball too if he had made it. So maybe not so much value. So another chance for Arresto. Now suddenly these are back and forth. Missing balls. Feeling the heat. He's not gonna get on the shot either. Well, he's gonna have the 10. I'm gonna say, would have loved to go around the 13. Well, the other shot he could play is the 11 to the top right, but can understand this 10 pocket speed does give him a good chance. Yeah, nice nudge. Does the 11 go by? Oh no. Well, he's got the 7 still. Problem is now suddenly everything is landing off angle too. Like it's... We're getting more difficult shots, more difficult outcomes. Off this 7, I would almost say you have to run into the 14. Which also can cause some more issues. Let's play it with some good pace. To bring the 14 off the short rail. So we might still go even. Or very close to it. Found the window. Is he straight enough to draw into the right long rail and out? Yeah, it's now looking to put himself a bit straighter on the break shot. The last time he missed, he had a bit more angle. Made the cut more difficult. Yeah, what a comeback. 58 against 54. And now Vilio Arresto at the table. I mean, for everybody that has been watching the past hour, I would say I'm happy you did, because this match has been beautiful to watch. If you just tuned in, well, Tadara Vicious looked to be winning this match in a very strong and confident fashion, keeping Arresto super tight. But now this Finn is coming back big time. He's got a break shot. Imagine if this opens up nicely, he could put himself near the 68-69 range. Well, it's 68. And that means only a couple balls away from the victory and a place in the last 32. Yeah, this time does he get something? Yes, the 12 moves over the corner. Did catch the bottom of the corner ball. But played a lot of draw to make sure it didn't really go anywhere to the bottom side of the table. Let's see, is he going to choose to cut this in and run into the stack again? Whack him? Was he going to play more deliberate? To just take away 6-7 balls first, you know, to maybe take the lead. I mean, I think you kind of have to go all in. What ball are you going to use otherwise to open things up? Yeah, I love how he's played this. Perfect hit. Great speed. He's got, I believe, 2 break balls available too. Connect the dots. You're on 68. Yeah, Tadara Vicious, really not too many mistakes. Just now when we got quite even, he got to the table and missed the 2 ball to the corner. One that he's supposed to make. But with the cue ball on the rail, the pressure, the shot clock, I can imagine the heat that was on him. Yeah, I would like to take away the 5 or the 1 ball to give the 15 some more space. Just like taking away the 8 ball opens the 4 into the middle. These are like the balls I try to get to as soon as possible. The 3 or the 4 does work to get onto the 11 if he wants to leave that as a break ball. I cannot imagine. I like the 7 and the 9. If he has the 11, punch the cue ball off the rail to get on the 1. Could even play the angle on the 1 to give the 5 a nudge, a little bit up. Always have the 4. What an opportunity. This has opened up so well. Yeah, so many ways he could run this out, but I don't mind just taking the shots I'm very sure of. So like 3-4, move over, 10, 5, and then you have like the 1, 15, 7, and the 9 to pick whatever order. The more he starts to travel, the more he starts to do with the cue ball. The trickier I find it on this kind of layout. Now this is only day 1 out of 9 days. And we do have, well, let's say approximately 4 or 5 matches a day on Pro Billiard TV. Thanks of course to our sponsors and the main sponsor Kamui. Thanks to the EPBF, thanks to Predator Group of course, for giving the juniors a stage they deserve. It's not the easiest route he has been playing. It's a bit off angle now on the 5. Going forward, could catch a piece of the 15, could still skim off the 15 towards the 9. Like those are not ideal things. Very missable too under some pressure. Yeah, great shot he's played. Now, do you take the 10 knowing that it's just all about the shot making, or take the 15 and run the cue ball 2 rails and knowing that you have to land somewhat straight on the 10? It's so easy to fall short or too far to where you cannot even leave yourself the proper angle on the break ball next. How is the pace? Yeah, I think he should be very happy with how he's landed. Yeah, on this too, I'd rather just take whatever angle I can get on the 9 instead of trying to punch the cue ball too much and miss the 10. Like, don't give yourself a chance to miss here. Execute, follow through, stop the ball. If it moves over to the rail, so be it. Yeah, don't do too much. He's now on 68. If this rack opens up, means we're going to see the fin into the last 32. Aramith, who was very successful the last European Junior Championship, so would be a tough loss on day 1, of course. Still have so many days to come. I've seen so many great players struggle for 7 days in a row, and then the very last discipline play their absolute best and still manage to take the gold and qualify for World Junior Championships, for example. Yeah, he's missed one of those break shots before. That one had a bit more distance. This one, maybe a bit more angle. I kind of like how it's laying. Well, kind of took it easy on the rack there. And that means we might honestly still see Tadara back at the table. What is he going to do to make something happen? Top left spin. Can he still move the cue ball forward 2 rails into the stack? Bit of a risk, but... I think he really should have went a bit all in there on the break shot, like force follow, and you know, gotta give it your everything. How are you going to get the last 7 points if... Okay, he's on something with the 14, but what's next? Like, basically, he brought his chances from maybe a 50-50 to very low. Yeah, he's played safe. I like this. Could have tried to play this into the top left, but what to do next? You know, there is always an aggressive shot. There's always something where you could take the big risk, but you gotta ask yourself, is it worth it? Can I lose with this too? Like what are my odds? And like I said, these are under 17 players. They might be playing, some of them, they might be playing for 3, 4, 5 years, not so long. And they have to learn, you know, what kind of shot is worth taking the risk, yes or no. Yeah, this is quite a trap. Because the 6 pretty much over the corner. You might have to take the intentional fall, yeah. I don't mind this. The only problem is Aresto can do exactly the same. So he's gonna push Tadara into a 3 fall. Which means minus 16. Oh, this is aggressive though. The jump cue is out. He's gonna take on this long 6 ball. Yeah, I mean, there is really not so much else to play. You know, with the 4 balls being in the open like this, you're always going to leave something in the open. Well, we're going airborne. 6 ball in the corner. Make this. Might have a chance. No, it's not there. What does he leave? Let's push the 7 ball out. 3 ball available. This is a chance now for Tadara Vicious. This match is going back and forth. Unreal. So force follow. Not so much force follow on this. A lot of stun, not so much follow, and this is a horrible position to shoot from. Now also, if he had run out from that position, he would have gotten to like 70 or 71 points. Like, it's still tricky all the way till the end. Well, good shot on the 5. Now, the 12 I don't think does go to the bottom right. See, the options are very limited to the bottom right. Maybe the 2 ball to the bottom left. The other option is to take a big risk. Try to go into him right now. I was thinking about drawing into them. He went forward. See, now both players really starting to just scrape the couple balls left on the table. But besides that, they're kinda struggling to get there. Oh, big draw. Is he gonna land on something? The answer is no. So we'll have another safety battle, and that means, I mean, the score now, kinda, what is it, 69, 65, I'm assuming. 6 balls on the table, so 7, 8, 9 for Tadaravicius. We might be playing for just 10 points. At least he's put the 2 ball past the side, but he might have... No, I don't think the 11 ball goes into the middle. Yeah, I don't think it's a horrible shot to hit the 4 ball thin and push the cue ball up table. Just gotta watch the scratch in the middle. And if you catch it to full, you might push out 2 balls over the corner, but yeah, this is the shot. Create the distance, push your opponent into a mistake. Does the 1 go off the 11? As I said, we're now 69, 64. Race to 75. If only you could just imagine what they're feeling. Day 1 is caught something into the bottom. The 10. Whoa, what a shot he's played there. What a shot he's played there. You know, kind of took the risk. Knew that missing that ball could have cost him the match. Now he might be in it to win it. I like this pattern too. If he can get low left, a bit straighter on the 12. The 11 does work as a break shot. bit more angle though. Don't think he can avoid being onto the 11. If he can, he would love to have the angle on the 11 too, towards the stack. Does it stop in time? Gotta say, he's hit it quite well. This might be just enough. Could play with low right draw into the left, bottom left corner of the stack. Could also play stun into the right, bottom right corner ball. Just gotta be careful not to touch his break ball. Look at this score. 69 to 69. It's all about 6 balls. And Tadara Vicious having the initiative first. No, he did not go aggressive. This is, in my opinion, this is shocking. Because I really liked the low right spin into the 2 and into the left long rail. He's hit this firm. But a good result, a good spread. 69 to 70. No banks available, nothing aggressive available. Are you going to risk it, take a fall up table and hope your opponent misses the ball? Or is it time for 3 fouls? He's looking at a 4-9-1 combination. I'm not a big fan, to be honest, but it might come close. But it's so off angle. Now don't forget, we do have a lot more action to come. Our next match for today will be at 4:30 Slovenian time, local time. So, of course, not just for this match, but also afterwards. I would love to see you back at Pro Billiard TV. For now, looks like he's playing safe. Where has he gone to with the cue ball? What has he done with the cue ball? I don't understand what he's played. I think the shot clock really got to him. And if you look at the rack too, exactly 5 balls are out to still take the win. Unless. Well, he still has the 1, but that's not what he was playing for. He was playing to get on to the 8. Now suddenly cutting the 1. Cue ball might fly up table. You might not even get shape. As you can see, the cut is a bit steep too. You gotta go aggressive. Maybe draw into the 8 or double speed, run the cue ball 4 rails around. You have to go. Oh! Wow. Have to say, great pot. I like how he drew into the 8. But if the cue ball disappeared in the middle, that would have been absolutely horrendous. So he's still at it. He's got the 12. Can stun to the 3 ball. Oh, and he's missed the 12. The pressure must be insane for both. I mean, there's no other way to it. They were cueing the ball so great during the match. That is just unbelievable. So 6 balls and they are in the open. I mean, still has to maneuver the cue ball a little bit. I don't think if the 14 goes by the 8. It's a bit tight. I like to play onto the 8 then. But just This is the tightest match I've seen in a long time. This is unreal from both. And this really sets the tone for me. With these juniors, you know, they feel the heat sometimes that much because they haven't experienced it as much. So curious to see how much more of this we're gonna see in the next 8 days. Oh. Bit of awkward queuing though. I know he's a lefty, but we'll be queuing over the 7. And still some work to do with the cue ball at the same time. And he's, well, not gonna say he doesn't have any shot, but this 6 ball to the top left to give yourself a chance to win the match is not my favorite. And he's already looking at other options like a combination. That means he doesn't fancy this 6 ball. Is he going to play another save, bank the 14, leave the cue ball frozen on the 13 and wait? Is this going to be one of those matches? No, he's going all in on the 6. Oh, and he's missed it big time. He went very, very aggressive there. And one good shot on the 9. Could return the favor. This, I mean, at this point of the match is going to be so painful either way. The loser of this match will be bumped to not qualify through the winners bracket. Just cannot imagine why he's played it so wild. That 6 ball, he really didn't need to play it at that kind of pace. Should have the 4 or the 6 afterwards with a little bit of left, but you could see he was not very comfortable on this. And that nudge puts him straight, so this is to qualify. Of course, we will see Viljo Aresto back later on, but he will have to play another match to qualify into the last 32 single elimination stage. Thanks everybody for tuning in once again at Pro Billiard TV. Would love to welcome you back at 4:30 local Slovenian time. So hopefully I can welcome you back. This has been Tim de Ruiter and I'll see you in a couple hours.